Alright guys, so I'm back inside of Blackshot. On my last video, I had a guy who actually gave me some information, and at first I thought that he was talking rubbish. I was like, what the fuck are you on about? What are you talking about? But actually, upon looking at this, it seems like Vertigo, yet again, have been making some questionable changes to the weapons. Now, if you remember, when the Revolution update came through, one of the big things that they said was that the 4 stars and the 5-star weapons, the reason they had those star ratings was because they were the most aesthetically improved weapons. They had all of the, cool looks and skins on them and things like this. This is why. But they would not be the most powerful weapons. Alright, that sounds fine. And in fairness, to begin with, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Of course, some of the weapons did feel stronger in general, but it wasn't too bad. And examples of this I have in my inventory are things like the Polizei, which is the 4-star, the Neo Striker again, which is 4-star, obviously the Brent tuning, and then numerous other weapons. Okay. And I've been recently sort of realizing and coming to realization that the weapons don't feel as good as they used to for me. Like for example, the Red Frog used to feel pretty good for me, but at the moment I'm not really feeling like it's doing as well as it could be. Again, some of the other weapons don't feel as good. Now, does that mean that the weapons are rubbish? No, of course not. I mean, that'd be fucking stupid for me to say that. But I want to just bring your attention to something very important, okay? As you know, in my previous video, I mentioned the fact that I was very lucky because I have the Neo Striker and I have the Brent tuning, but I don't have the purple versions. I have the repairable versions. And it seems like Vertigo, in their wisdom, have decided that what they're going to do is they're going to add the weapons as purple versions, and they're going to make them stronger. Yeah, that's right. You know when they would just have premium weapons that would just be more OP than the standard weapons? You know when they made Revolution, and they were like, we're not going to make it pay to win anymore, it's going to be play to win? Do you remember play to win, guys? Do you remember that? That amazing play to win? Now, it's very important here. I'm going to post this onto the forums. So it is very important that I don't use foul language. It's very important that I don't curse out Vertigo. I'm not going to give them any excuse to remove my post from the forums. So I'm going to very, very carefully use my words. Okay. Now, we will go to the store and I will show you the stat difference between the repairable guns and the timed guns. Now, keep this in mind, okay? If you remember, this Brent tuning was available in the old standard box. If you remember, the Neo Striker was available either through a paid bundle, so that is a gem bundle, or the gem boxes. When they were not timed, they were repairable. Remember this. The same with the Polizei, and the same with some of the other guns. The Red Frog, this Hamas, and these weapons. You understand what I'm saying? These weapons, some of them were gem guns in the old system where they didn't have timed weapons. Now it's very important because now that they have added timed weapons again back into the game with the purple weapons, they have now decided that the purple timed weapons, even if they are the same gun, this is important to note, guys, because this has never happened before. Different color variations of different guns and different skins of different guns have had different stats, yes. But they have never ever in the game had the exact same weapon with two different attributes, with two different stats for the repairable version and then the not repairable version. And I'm going to show you. So the Brent tuning, okay. As you can see, here are the stats of the Brent tuning. If you need to pause this, if you need to go back and look again, you can do it. But I have it also equipped. So now when I go into the shop and I click on a different weapon, it's going to show me the weapon changes, as you can see here, right? Into the shop, into the weapons. The Brent tuning is here. So I click on this Brent tuning. Now, if you look closely, okay, we don't actually get numbers because numbers are too hard. Unfortunately, numbers are too hard. They don't like to give us numbers anymore. They just give us this I don't know what the fuck this is called. They just give us this information here. But as you can clearly see, the weapon, if I buy the gem version of the weapon, it gains more damage and it gives you more movement speed. Now, you may say, it gives you a bit more movement speed, that's not such a big deal. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. But more damage? More damage basically means that my repairable version of the Brent tuning is just a weaker version than the gem weapon. Do you remember in the old Blackshot version? Do you remember when you would buy a gun that was a gem gun, and then you would have the same type of gun that was not a gem gun? Do you remember the fact that the gem gun was more OP? So what is this? What is this? Well, this, my friends, is unfortunately pay to win. This is just pay to win. It's simple. Now, I don't know if anybody can please show me any information that Vertigo actually gave us on this. I've not seen a post anywhere that has said that when they introduce these timed weapons, they will have improved stats over the repairable counterparts. I have not seen any post anywhere about this. If somebody wants to leave it in my comments, or if they want to leave it on the forum post on Blackshot, go for it. I have not seen anything about this. So basically they did this change, in my opinion, they did this change so that people could go and buy these timed weapons every single month again, and they would be getting a stronger weapon than the free players. Simple. So that is the first one, okay? So now I'm going to take you over to the Neo Striker. So I go to my Neo Striker, I equip it. I will also show you the overall stats here, as you can see, of my Neo Striker. Again, I will go to the weapons section. I will click on the store Neo Striker. Oh. What is that? What is that? Is that higher fire rate? Is that much higher accuracy? By the way, that is insanely higher accuracy. Just pointing that out. Is that more damage? Is that more speed? Okay, you take a very slight penalty with control. Is that a completely better weapon than the repairable version, which I purchased for gems? The repairable version, which I purchased for gems. Is this version just better? Well, yes it is. Yes it is. It is just better. But again, I have not seen a post anywhere about this. Nobody, from my knowledge, nobody at Vertigo, there has not been an update news post about it. There has been no information anywhere about the fact that they have now basically added pay-to-win versions of the same gun. These are the same guns as I have in my inventory, but they are just better if you pay money for them every month. Now let's look at another gun, okay? Let's look at the AK-47 gold, okay? So now, again, I have 2 gem guns. Remember, these were obtainable from gems, okay? So let's equip the gold moon, alright? Let's look at the stats, okay? Now let's go into the shop. The AK-47 gold, okay? Oh, what's that? What's that? You're telling me the AK-47 Midas is now just worse than the AK-47 gold? I wonder why that is, guys. I wonder why that is. Oh, remember, okay. If the weapon is 4 or 5 stars, that is because it has more customization. It's more aesthetically pleasing. It's not because it's more OP. We promise, guys. If it has purple, it doesn't mean that it's more OP. Honestly, guys, we promise. We promise. So you're telling me that this gold Midas, which looks better than this gun, you're telling me that this gun's just better though. This gun's just better. More accuracy, more speed. The same damage? No, more damage. More fire rate. Just better. It is just a better gun. So again, it comes down to this. It seems like they have now done a sneaky thing. I personally believe this is a sneaky thing that they've done. Unfortunately, I can't repair that gun. I can show you the stats of that gun, as you can see. You know, the accuracy, the damage and everything. But I can't afford to repair that gun, so I can't show you anything else. But I mean, as you can imagine, everything's pretty much boosted up on that gun. Probably. So what I'm going to come back to for the final time is this. Vertigo, in their wisdom, have decided that they want to have pay-to-win weapons in the game. Vertigo have also decided in their wisdom that they want to add pay-to-win gears back in the game. They've also decided that they want to add pay-to-win medkit back in the game. Vertigo have decided that they just want to change the look of the game from a storefront aesthetics, but they just want to add pay-to-win back into the game. And now we are in a situation where Vertigo have decided in their wisdom, in their mighty glorious wisdom, they have decided that they are going to change the stats of the same weapon, exactly the same weapon. They're going to change the stats of that weapon depending on whether you purchased it in the old system of Revolution or in the new system of Revolution. They have now made more than two actually. They've now made multiple guns that people purchased with gems. They have now just made those guns weaker by adding better versions back into the game of the same weapon. Can you even believe that? Can you even believe that? And they have not told anybody. They have hidden this. They've made this very sneaky. They've not made it public so that people can have their opinion on this situation. They've just done this in such a way that the only time people will realize this is by the time they've bought the weapon and by the time they've seen how good the weapon is. So there we go. Pay to win? Yes, please. Thank you very much, Vertigo. And as for the people who support this company, well done. You guys rock.